So maybe you have a husband that is a little apprehensive to start his keto journey with you, but maybe my husband can convince you and him. Coming up. I'm Emily.
I'm Sarah.
We are 35-year-old sisters on a ketogenic weight loss journey. We've struggled with our weight all of our lives, but in 2019, we finally committed to better our health and have successfully lost over 150 pounds combined so far. We aren't perfect, but we are real, and we hope to share our success and our struggles to motivate ourselves and others. So this is Brad. He is my husband, and we have been together since 2003. Isn't that right, honey?
Yes.
And how did we meet?
We met online.
Okay then. So that was that. We were married in 2015, so this will be 5 years of marriage. Anyway, Brad is a weirdo, and I find that very endearing. He does a lot of stuff where I don't even know what to say about it really, but he always keeps it interesting and always makes me go WTF at least once a day. So this is Brad. You've been on keto before, haven't you?
Yes. I've been on and off for the last 15 years.
So before you started on January, when was the last time that you were on keto?
It had been a while. I had been sort of eating keto during the week, but then on the weekends or sometimes at the office, I was, snacking or having carbs, here and there. So it wasn't really leaving me in full-time ketosis.
So did you find it hard to transition into keto on January 1st?
Yes and no. Just because every time the weekend would roll around, I had a pattern of, ordering food or going out and eating food that had carbs in it. So it's a little bit hard to break that pattern. And then also, of course, there's beer. I mean, I'm really into craft beer, and some of these beers are not like your everyday light beer. They're, they have a lot of sugar in them.
How many carbs do you think is in one of the beers that you drink?
I don't want to know.
Like 50? 30?
Possibly.
Wow.
Possibly.
So he hasn't drank anything, well now he has because it's now February, but in January he did not drink any alcohol or eat any carbs really. So I'm very proud of him for that. So what kind of advice would you give a spouse who has a partner that is a little apprehensive about starting keto?
It can be kind of tricky. It's almost like getting a kid to eat something that they don't want to eat. I would recommend making meals that are something that they like, but are keto. So maybe make a lot of steaks, tasty sides that are keto. And so you're not necessarily saying, we're going into keto now, we're just having a nice juicy steak.
Maybe cream spinach would be a good one?
Yeah, of course. Second thing, if you are in charge of buying the groceries in the house, I would stop buying, all the contraband that could lead them astray. And third, I wouldn't be too pushy about it. A lot of times when you're trying to get someone to do something, the more that you try to push it, the less they want to do it. I think it definitely will take some work on their side and to actually wanting to lose weight or wanting to eat healthier. So you can't be doing 100% of the work. They have to have a genuine desire to get some kind of results out of this.
Just to, extend your point, or what is the word for that? We always say in our videos that people have to come onto keto on their own terms, and if you try to force someone into eating a certain way, they're not going to respond to it very well. So I would say encourage, but don't push it in someone's face all the time. I think that if you're responsible for the food, like he said, then you can be making really, really amazing keto dinners where they don't even really know that they're eating keto. And if they did notice it, you could be like, well, you've been eating keto this whole week. Or if you are responsible for the grocery shopping, like you said, then do not buy cookies and all these things, because that might throw you off too. So if they want it, then they can go out and get it or order it online or whatever. Is that mean to do to your spouse?
No.
I was also going to say that when you lead by example and you start losing a lot of weight, that may trigger your spouse or your partner to join keto because they're watching you progress so much, and they're probably going to feel left behind. Like this year, did you feel that way when I started dropping weight?
I mean, definitely. It kind of made me think about my own goals that I wanted to do, and instead of you saying, well, we're going to do this now, it was more like I started thinking about, well, maybe I can use this for something.
I felt a lot of pressure to lose weight in 2019 because Sarah had her wedding going on, and she started the diet a little bit before me, and so she started losing weight, and I was still kind of like, I don't know if I want to go on right now. But when I started seeing her dropping the pounds, I started to feel like, okay, if I don't get on soon, I'm not going to be able to catch up in time for her wedding, and I'm going to be standing up there, and we're twins, so a lot of people are going to just be comparing us, and they're gonna see the difference by the time the wedding rolls around. So that really motivated me, and that can motivate your spouse. Just be encouraging when they decide to try it, and I think that you could get someone to do what you want to do by, you don't even need to really ask it. It's more like inception of the brain. So, did you feel any different after you started keto?
Definitely. I had a lot more energy. I felt more satiated. I was sleeping better, which it's almost as good as the weight loss. I mean, you just feel better. There's so many times in the past where if you have too many carbs, you can kind of not feel good, and you want to lay down. And that didn't happen this month. I definitely felt nourished and very active. So I was really happy with how I felt the whole time throughout.
In December, you were complaining a lot about not getting good sleep. It was like almost every night, and it's because you were probably eating bad and drinking beer, and it was causing your sleep patterns to be disrupted, and I believe that if you don't have good sleep, then you can't be in a good mood. He's very, very sensitive to like sleep, and so this month you are. This month I've definitely seen not this month, but in January, I definitely saw a difference in like your overall like attitude and everything, because how can you be happy if you're not at least getting decent sleep? So that's a plus too. So out of all the dishes that we've ever made on keto, what are your top 2 that you really, really like and you would recommend maybe a spouse to make for their partner on keto? Do you have any?
You're giving me 2 choices?
Yeah, 2 choices. Top 2.
I really like enchiladas or lasagna, just because these are 2 things that you normally wouldn't think that you could have on keto. The steaks and the bacon and all that, you know that's can make up a core of the low carb diet or keto. But when you get to have like lasagna or enchiladas, it's like a really nice hearty dish that you usually associate with carbs.
Right.
But you get to have that now.
In fact, we actually love those recipes so much. We have made them on this channel before, and so I can link those recipes in the description below. For the enchiladas, we use Mission low carb tortillas, which are amazing. And I would suggest if you want to like kind of transition and switch over from your husband eating like normal tacos or whatever, then the Mission low carb tortillas, that's where it's at. They taste so good. I don't think I could live without them on this diet. We follow a lazy keto plan and a dirty keto plan, and so we incorporate those things, and it makes life so much easier, and it makes the food taste awesome. Like I don't necessarily think all of the cauliflower products and everything are gonna trick anybody who's not deep into keto. Like these tortillas, they'll trick your spouse into thinking they're eating the real thing. That's our cat. Yeah, so anyway, I will link the recipes in the description below, and you can watch those. They are delicious. If anybody complains about those, I will be mad, because I actually want to make those 2 things this week because I missed them. So, what was your starting weight when you started keto, January 1st?
I was 220 pounds.
Okay, but that's not your highest weight. What was your ultimately highest weight?
I was 250 pounds at one point.
Yeah, that's nothing compared to me. I was about 280 when he was 250 pounds. What's awesome is now I'm smaller than you. Yes, I have never been smaller than him. We've been together for since 17 years, and I've always weighed more than him. So when he said that he weighed 220 pounds, I'm like, oh my God, I weigh 175 right now. Yes! For being somebody who's tall and was bigger, it's like, you don't want to seem bigger than your husband or your significant other. It's terrible. It's like, ugh. So now it's like, don't get too skinny now because I like you beefy. So Brad's also 6'2" or 6'1.5", whatever, right? I'm 5'11", so imagine being 5'11", 280 pounds, and your husband is just like you wouldn't even be able to see him if he was standing in front of me. That's bad. Okay. So I veered off track there because I'm so excited to weigh less than him right now. You were 220, and that was January 1st. And what is your weight now?
207.
So that is a loss of 13 pounds.
Yes. I would say about 5 pounds is the initial water weight flush that you experience, but the other 8 pounds is about 2 pounds per week, which it's pretty substantial but healthy weight loss. So I'm very happy with it.
So now that the month is over, do you still plan on being keto? The answer better be yes. But
I definitely have a newfound sort of motivation to keep going. So I'd really like to get to 190 pounds.
That's an acceptable weight to me, so that you're still bigger than me.
So 17 more pounds to go. I think it'll be an ideal weight for me to reach just for running and just for overall health. So I'd really like to get there. So 17's not that much, but if I keep going with it, I feel like I'll get there within a few months.
Right. Maybe before our upcoming trip to Hawaii, in which he has indicated that he would like to wear a Speedo. But that is something that is still on the table. I don't think anybody should be wearing a Speedo. I don't care if you look like Channing Tatum, you should be wearing a Speedo. But that's just my opinion. I think everyone's going to be making fun of you, but that's for a different day. And I'm going to be nervous already wearing a bathing suit, and I haven't worn one for since I was 12, and so here he comes. I don't know. Maybe that'll be distraction. That'll be a distraction. So wear the Speedo, because then no one's going to be looking at me in a bathing suit. So any last thoughts? What do you think about Keto Twins? What do you feel about it? Do you watch it? You better watch it. You better watch us.
I watch Keto Twins when I'm at work sometimes, and it's a way to see for me to see Emily when I'm not at home, and then I can know what she's up to at the same time.
Yeah, I'm up to something crazy. Yeah, but do you have any advice for me or anybody out there who is on keto?
For you, for everyone else, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep moving forward. Whatever disappointments come about, just use it as fuel to keep going forward. Just don't ever stop.
Oh, here's a good question. What would you say if your husband or spouse or wife or whatever was not supportive of your keto weight loss journey? What advice would you give them then?
That when you start having better energy and you start losing weight, they're going to see that, and you leading by example, eventually they're going to want to join you.
But what if the person was sabotaging you? Not sabotaging you, but mentally sabotaging you, or not just not supportive at all. Do you believe that someone should have the will to do it on their own? I believe that. I believe that there are going to be people out there that will try to get you to go off because of whatever reason, and so you really need to have that will to keep on going, and focus on your feeling on your health, just overall, and saying that I'm going to say no to that today. Not that I can't have it, but I don't want to have it if they're offering you carbs, because I don't want to feel bad, and you need to say no 1,000 times. And once you say no 1,000 times, then you're going to become stronger, and no one's going to be able to break your will to keep on going on keto. But would you agree with that? Right.
There's going to be people that are curious or that are against it, but if you keep remembering your principles and understand why you're doing it, that's how you're going to stay strong and eventually everyone will follow, or at least understand.
Ketify the world. No, I'm kidding.
At least understand where you're coming from.
So, any closing remarks or thoughts?
I would just say, please subscribe to the channel. No, but Emily really wants to help. And so does Sarah. Sometimes I forget there's two of them. But she really wants to help. And so keep ketoing on.
Keep ketoing on. He must be watching our videos because we say that. And that we shall. So anyway, I'm Emily. You're going to be Sarah today.
And I'm Sarah.
No, you're Brad.
And I'm Brad.
And we are not the Keto Twins. We are just Keto Twin today.
Keto couple.
Oh, God. Hopefully this week, your BFF, Alex, Sarah's husband, will be talking about his keto experience.
That's my twin.
That's not your twin, but he is your BFF. So I'm sure he has a different take on it than you do. And if you'd like to see us 150 pounds heavier, click this video right here, or somewhere. It's here. We'll see you over there. Bye.